So, I just want to say hello. I hope this sounds okay. Just gonna do a quick check. Super technical. Just gonna shove my phone in my ear. Gonna check. I think the mic's a little bit quiet. No, I think it's okay. I think in general I'm just a little bit quiet, but you know, we live and we live. So we have made it through another year, which is brilliant. Unfortunately, I don't really think 2024 was my year, at all. I just had a lot of goals that I wanted to achieve. If you like the background, it's from AO Material. They have a bunch of different materials on there. I'm not sure if any of it's like AI generated or anything like that, but I try and like use my brain and see if I think anything's dodgy. I just stay away from it. But I downloaded this like a year ago now, so yeah. Just trying to cover myself because I didn't realize, but all of the like screens that I have are game screens or like camera screens, ones with like a hole in them for you to put something in, and I didn't want to be on camera for this one, and I just wanted to talk to you guys because I feel like if I had something in my hands I would be like faffing with it and not getting to the point, so I didn't want to get distracted. But yeah, 2024 has been a mixed bag for me, I think, in both like the VTuber sense and in like museum life. I didn't get as much done as I would have liked, and I feel like I saw January and then it like breezed to April and then it's December, you know? Which I think is the sentiment that I see a lot online, that the years are getting faster and faster, which I think is just a, you know, after effect of growing up, you know? Everything is becoming less fun, I guess. More less fun, yes, brilliant. But I had some resolutions that I'd set out last year, and I just thought I would go over them and then go over what I want to do in 2025, because I have kind of I love making resolutions. I love planning. I'm a big planner. I love a plan. I love just like, you know, the Bibles, goodness me, the planners, the tape, the highlighters, the stickers. I love things like that, but to actually go through on a plan is a little bit less fun, I think. A lot of fun is in the making of the plans, but I keep making them regardless, you know. Maybe this year, I just hit the microphone, I'm so sorry. Maybe this year will be the year I actually do what I intended to. We shall see. But yeah, so I just wanted to go over last year's resolutions and then a little bit as to why I don't, spoiler alert, I did one of them, and not even to the extent that I wanted to, but I did technically do what it said on the on my little canvas sheet, so technically I'm giving myself that one. But I will just load them up now. Look at me, all tech forward, wahey. And then is where I like throw myself off screen or something. So I split them up into like goals, which were just things I wanted to achieve, and then resolutions were things I could actively do, I think. I have no idea. I think I just didn't want to clutter up the pages, so they were on two. The only one that I stuck to was consistency with my language learning. So, and I didn't do that to the extent that I wanted to, but I just thought I would go through in order. So we've got reach 500 followers on Twitter/X and Instagram. We can check now, but I am absolutely nowhere near that goal. And I think it's just a case of not knowing what to post. On Twitter I have 100, no I do not, that's my following. My following, yeah, my following is very, very high, and my followers is very, not high. So, I have 86 followers. which is a lot away from 500, and I am following 168. So a lot of those are other content creators that have followed me back out of pity, I have to assume, and things like that, you know, art accounts. A lot of them are bot accounts, to be honest. I do need to go through them and just get rid of them all, but it feels like every time I get rid of like 10, I then get 20, so it's a case of just kind of like sitting with the ones that I have and then, you know, hoping they don't like quadruple when I get rid of them, because it's just a little bit tedious to kind of haul through all the time, you know, purging them all. And then on Instagram I have even less because Instagram hates me. I don't think I'm shadow banned or anything like that, I just think I'm not doing what it wants. I have 27 followers on Instagram, so I'm even further away, and I'm following 135 accounts on Instagram, so that's an even bigger gap. And on Instagram I follow a lot of like, I would say content creators the same. I use my Twitter mainly for other VTubers and other artists, whereas I use my Instagram for things like crochet accounts or quilting accounts or sewing accounts, things like that. So there's, with me being interested in like game recommendation accounts, so because I have so many hobbies, I like to have multiple accounts that I can go to for inspiration. So I think that's why my Instagram count is so high, but I just have not been proactive with content creation, which kind of lends to the resolution side. I started off so well. I like set up the whole like meta suite thing, which is fine for Facebook and Instagram, but I just didn't know what to post. I didn't know what to do. I would see like trends and I wouldn't be able to join in on them because I just didn't have the content that they were about, you know. Like on Twitter a lot there's like, show me this part of your model, and it'll be like your eyes, and my eyes are really really flat, just because of how I drew them when I drew myself. So it didn't feel like, plus I'm only PNG, so I just didn't feel like I was gonna get the same outcome as the ones that were like blinking and moving and with sparkly, you know, flirty drawings in their eyes, you know. So I never joined in on any of those trends, because I know there's one going around now that is showing your front and back like reference sheet, which I do not have. I've tried to make one of those like 6 times and I just get burnt out. So I haven't made one of those yet. Plus I just don't think I need one till I have my full model, which is on here as well, which we will get to. But yeah, I haven't joined that one because I just, like I said, I don't have the reference sheet, and I suppose I could just put like the model I'm using right now, you know, I could just like pop this PNG on and be like, what's the first thing you notice? But it's a thing of not having enough followers to interact with the post. Like I'm very much talking to the void, like in this stream there's no one here, but little old me, which is fine. It's partly because of the fact that I've not been doing anything. The people aren't gonna come and subscribe for nothing, you know, something needs to bring them in, and I know that, but I just don't, it's not I don't do anything, because especially with crochet, I've been on an absolute crochet kick recently. I'm currently fidgeting, even though I said I'd keep my hands free, but I'm currently fidgeting with a tiny little like mushroom pop guy that has a butt. It has like a little bottom. It's very very fun. The bottom is very hard. I think I sewed it over a few too many times. But like the little mushroom head thing like pops off. You can like fidget with it. It's very fun. It's very fun. I want to make a bigger one on stream because he's made out of like 4-ply yarn, so he's very small. Anyway, sorry, I can like waffle about crochet for years. But I've been crocheting a lot of things. I just tend to do it in the worst lighting. And at the beginning of the year, I think in February, I destroyed my camera. I was making a corset and it was going very very well, and the camera was filming as I was going, I think putting the binding on, I think. I can't remember what I was doing, but whatever it was, I swung the corset round and it just like sideswiped the camera and it fell, and it was only like a palm off the table, but clearly it was a palm off the table too high and it fell on its side, and now the screen comes on, it works fine, but it doesn't actually see what the camera sees. It sees it very hazy, very fuzzy, and then it just goes, oh, there's an error, and then puts up a big error screen and won't like record anything at all. So that got broken, and then I tried to find somewhere to fix it because I have a little bit of disposable income and I did really like that camera, and there's nothing wrong with the camera, so it just feels like a little bit wasteful to throw away a whole camera because I like messed up. I think I've dislodged a cable somewhere because it still works, it still will communicate with the lens and it's still showing me a picture on the screen, but it's not in focus, and then it's like 30 seconds if that and it switches off. Oh well, it comes up with the error screen and doesn't come off the error screen, and then I have to switch it off. So I broke that which then meant that I had to film on my phone, which is fine, but then I had a lot of issues with my phone because when I had my camera, it was fine to just like sit it on the corner of the desk and let it run for hours. It would record so many hours of footage, it was great, and then I could just put that into my editing software, and then I could edit it, oh my goodness, I could edit it and then upload it and it'd be fine. But on my phone, I don't know why, but the bigger, anything over I think half an hour, like half an hour is pushing it, but anything over, even by like 20 seconds, it just does not want to upload anywhere at all. So that was an absolute nightmare because I hadn't realised until, obviously, you know, I'd filmed like this whole process of making, I think, a blouse or a skirt, I can't quite remember. I'd filmed the whole thing and then I couldn't do anything with the footage because I couldn't edit it on my phone because it just was not letting me. It kept being like, the file's too big, error, oops, and then we just close, and it was brilliant, you know, lovely, loved that. But then I couldn't take it off my phone because it was too big. And then I was going through a ton of apps, like video editing apps, trying to find something that was vaguely sort of professional in the hopes that there was a trial run and then I could put my information into it and it would at least let me edit this poor little video. But that didn't happen, so I just got really annoyed and I deleted that, which then meant that was a project, obviously, that was done and filmed, but that couldn't go any further than what it was. You know, it was just an empty piece of filming because there was obviously so much more content than is ever needed, and I would have had to upload it to YouTube in a 50-part series that would have taken, oh my goodness, that would have taken like 40 years to actually post, so that had to be deleted, which was a little bit underwhelming. And then I had to work out a way around the filming issue I had with my phone, so I now have to just do lots of small clips. I just smacked you again, I'm so sorry. A lot of the content that I film is a lot of kind of talking about what I'm going to do as opposed to actually showing you. So for my Christmas dress, because that needs finishing, I have a little bit of hand sewing I need to do, and I want to change the facing on it because I kind of sort of was like, I have plenty of time, this is fine, and then it absolutely was not fine. I ran out of time. I was finishing it the morning of the party, which was an absolute nightmare because we had to be there at 12 on the dot, otherwise we would have to like forfeit our pay kind of thing, which sucked. So I was like panicking, like hand sewing, mad panic with the stress. So that needs editing before it can, like the finished video can go up. But while I was making that, a lot of it was just, now I'm going to sew down the bodice, now I'm going to sew down this bit, now I'm going to sew down that bit, instead of actually showing what I was sewing, partly because it was just a mad rush, partly because I was worried I was going to like sideswipe the camera again, and I really cannot afford to break my phone as well as my camera. So a lot of it is just me talking about sewing, but I think maybe I will invest in a new camera in the next year. I'm not sure. I'm going to see how the content goes from my phone, because I do have, I think, 3 videos worth like sewing videos worth of content to post. It's just getting around to editing it, you know. The making of the thing is far more fun than the editing, because I don't come from an editing background, so that part's not really super fun for me right now. But that all feeds into why I don't think why I didn't achieve my goal for followers on Twitter and Instagram. And I know followers aren't like the main, like the point, you know, but when you're super small like I am, it just, you're talking to a wall, you know, and it can feel a little bit disheartening to speak to nothing, you know. But again, no one will be there if there's no content there, and I know that, and I just need to make a plan and stick to it, which I think with my resolutions I've set out for this year, which I will go through, I think that I should have something, because I know a lot of creators just say that just to post anything is better than nothing, but then others are like a clean feed is like the most important thing, and it's a little mix of information from all sides, you know. So I just need to kind of like work at what I'm doing and do it and hope for the best. Reach 100 subscribers on YouTube. Again, have not done this whatsoever. I have 4. I thought I would be far more productive than I was. I had a lot of issues with tech, so my headphones broke, and then I got new ones, and then people were always borrowing them, so I didn't have access to them. And then my capture card, well, it's not even the capture card, I have a few games on my Switch that I play like through the capture card, but then the games just wouldn't load on the Switch. So I would be like, okay, today I'm gonna do this stream, and then I would just get so annoyed because the game wouldn't load properly that it just like threw me off my rhythm, and then I'm like an hour into when I should have been live, and I haven't gone live yet because the game won't load, and then I just gave up, you know. So again, it was just a case of not doing enough, which is just the story of my life, to be honest with you. I have all these ideas, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's great, I could do that, this will be fun. And then nothing really happens, and then I just kind of end up in like a, well, that would have been cool if I'd have just done it, you know, but the story of all. And then 3 song covers. I have not released one. But if every song cover I started was posted, I would have 6. That's how many I've tried to do. The first one I was working on, because I was working on it for a while, I had 3 drawings done for it, so... Oh goodness me, just having a bit of a drink. Getting a dry throat. I wanted to do Diamond City Lights by... Is it Ethereal? No, it's not Ethereal. Who's it by? I'm gonna get crucified. I went to Diamond City Lights anyway. But then that whole drama kicked off. Which I think rightly so. I do think there was some issues with management. It's not my place to speak on it anyway. But, you know, the whole thing erupted, and the person who I was going to use their instrumental for took it down. Now, I have it downloaded, but since they've taken it down, I don't feel right about using it. But I didn't really like any of the other ones that were already up, so it would be a case of like commissioning someone, which wasn't, you know, the worst thing in the world. But with the whole drama going on, I didn't want it to look like I was taking a side, and it just felt extraordinarily insensitive to post a cover at that time with the drama that was going on. So that just got abandoned. I wanted to release a Valentine's Day cover, and then I just hated how I sounded in it. I wanted to do, I think it's just called My Valentine, and I cannot remember at all the artist. I am awful with names, oh my goodness. But yeah, I was like, this song is brilliant, I love the sound of this song, I like singing this song, this is fun, and then I recorded myself and listened back to it and was like, I hate this, absolutely not, absolutely not. So that got scrapped, and then just, it was the same thing, you know. I wanted to do a cover of Dragon Ball, just like the basic opening, I think it was. I don't think it was a special one or anything, but it was just, you know, I just didn't like how I sounded in it. And then I would want to release things by a certain time. Like I wanted to do Earth, Wind and Fire, that iconic, like, do you remember? I'm gonna get claimed, but I wanted to do that one, but then the time, like the date for that came and went, so, you know, the funny hee hee ha ha like everyone does, was releasing it on that date, and then the date's now gone, so that was like, right, okay. And then I went to do a Christmas song, and then I just got ill. I got ill with the worst, like, dry throat, then a cough, then back to a dry throat again, and it just felt like I was swallowing razor blades for like 3 weeks straight, and then I just didn't have enough time to do it. So that was the case for a lot of things. There was one song that I want to do that I still want to do, so I'm not going to release it yet, like the name of it, partly because I do not remember who sang it. But and I wanted to release that on the date that it was released, you know, kind of like a fun little anniversary kind of homage, I think, to the original. But then that date came and went. It doesn't help that I'm like a one-man band, you know. I'm trying to do the singing with absolutely no training. I'm self-taught entirely through every element that I'm on. Like with the artwork and everything like that, it's entirely self-taught. I downloaded Reaper in the hopes that would help me get kickstarted. Goodness me. Like if the app was already there, then I would just need to put my things into it. And then I just hated how it sounded, and I got really overwhelmed with the site. Goodness me, big gulp. So nothing ever got done, unfortunately. I'm pretty sure my free trial has run out, so that's not ideal either. Because I don't think I pressed or like investigated any of it. So yeah, that's why my 3 covers did not happen. I was spinning a lot of plates. I just missed a lot of time. A lot of things I wanted to do were time sensitive, and I just did not give myself enough time to try, fail, and then try again. So it's just a case of kind of knowing that it's going to take me more than it should, because I'm really nervous because I'm self-taught, and I commissioned a guy a while ago now, back when I was an idol. I say idol, quote unquote. I was like a school idol kind of thing, you know. And I commissioned him to make a song, and he was like, okay, this is great, this is great, this is great. And then just, like, he was making the instrumentals for me, and then he just was like, oh, by the way, this is not technically very good. This has no technique to it. Your timing's off, your this is off, your that's off. And I was like, okay, I can work on that, you know, because you just ignore, like, because he kept telling me to sing to a BPM. I can't remember the exact number, but it was similar to one of Taylor Swift's songs. And he was like, just sing, start the words when she starts the words and it'll be fine. And I was like, okay, I can try. And then that worked for some sentences but not others because of what I was trying to say. And it was a case of, well, do I need to change the lyrics to fit the thing? But then it feels like I'm doing like a parody of a Taylor Swift song, and that's not what I wanted for that song, like, at all, because the vibe was completely different. But that was the only help I got. And then I was like, oh, well, if this isn't gonna work out, you know, could you just make the tune to the BPM that you want it to be, and I'll work out the rest. I'll struggle, I'll cry, it's fine. And he was like, no, you need to do the words properly. And I was like, no, please just send me the song, because I'm not gonna, like, be musically cured overnight. But you've took my money for this commission, please give me some music. And then he just ignored me and was like, you're too inexperienced, I can't work with you. And I was like, okay, that's great, can I have my money back? And he was like, no, approve the order as sent, and then I can work with you more. And I don't know why, but I was like, okay, that sounds legit. So I just approved the job because he was like, you're gonna make my average go down. You're gonna make my rating go down when it's not my fault, it's your fault. And I was like, okay, damn. Got damn. Because this is my like 3rd commission or something on Fiverr for music, and the other 2 people were absolutely lovely, and I must have been the exact same, you know, experience, and things like that. But I don't know, maybe this guy was just different in the way he went about it, you know, his technique. But yeah, so that was brilliant, and then he absolutely destroyed my self-confidence. And it took me a few months to actually message Fiverr and be like, hey, this guy kind of like scammed me out of my money. I didn't get the job at all. This is proof that it didn't get sent anything. Please, like, can you like take his account down? Because he hadn't done anything since my review. So he wasn't actively scamming everyone. I don't know if it was just not worth the aggro for him. I'm not sure. But, you know, I was like, hey, I didn't get my commission, and he was kind of really mean. Because I know that I'm inexperienced, so I sent like my like raw vocals straight away, just so that the commissioner, the person I was getting the commission from, could see what level I was at and whether they actually wanted to work with someone at my level. Because I understand that, you know, I don't really understand much, and maybe that's not what people want to work with. But he said yes, and then did not give me the track, so that didn't help. That's always in the back of my mind of like, this is going to be awful. No one's going to be able to work on this. I have to fix my problems. You know, kind of thing. And again, it's just kind of wearing a lot of hats that just meant that nothing happened. So I'm not sure. I might consider looking into hiring people, but again, it's still a little bit of like, what if I'm like, hey, here's my money, please teach me how to this, and then they're like, no, you're too bad, just give up. You know, it would suck. And then my last one for goals, which was start, I keep punching the mic, I'm so sorry. Start/build bridges with content creators and collab. I have done absolutely 0 collabs. I have spoken to a few people in DMs about like 3, like literally 3 other VTube content creators in DMs, and they were nice. They were really lovely people. But you know, when you kind of get past the, oh, why did you want to be a VTuber? Oh, why do you do this? Oh, this is cool. Who are your inspirations? And then the conversation kind of ran dry, so I haven't really spoken to any of them at all in DMs since, like, the very first conversation kind of thing. Which is fine, you know, no one has to speak with you, that's fine. They're lovely people still. I tune into some of their streams now. One of them hasn't streamed for a little bit, bless her. But I think she was busy with like school and like an entirely other job. It could not be me. But other than that, I've just kind of been keeping to myself because again, it's very much, I'm in my own little box and I am very, very small, as we've just gone through. My follower count is absolutely minute / non-existent. So it always feels very, ladder climby, you know? So it's like, oh, well, I need to have like a good amount of subscribers to be like, hey, I'm on the same level as you, I'm not mooching off you, do you want to be, you know? And there's just a lot of like PSAs online, but like, don't DM me and be like, I want to be friends because you sound like a weirdo or a bot, which I get. I obviously fully understand that aspect as well, but it's so hard. You know, like, it's so difficult to just kind of stay in your lane enough to have something to be like, hey, look, mutual, let's go. But again, I think it's also because I'm not joining trends, I'm not joining people's, I keep smacking the microphone, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna move my hands. I'm not joining like content stream challenges and things. I'm not doing anything particularly just us all, as we've mentioned, but you know, it's like really make the effort to build the bridge, just because again I feel like I'm very, looks like I'm mooching and I don't want to mooch, so I think I just kind of stay not in my lane. Like if someone's like, hey, I think it's cool, and I like check them out and I think they're cool, then you know, who knows. But I think for reaching out purposes, I think I may just stay in my lane a little bit, because I don't have, oh I do have, I have collab on my next year's thing, so we'll see. But I think it's because I'm not very established in what I'm doing, what the content is that I like. It's a little bit hard. If anyone did look at my channel, they'd be like, what is this mess? And where has she gone for like a year? Which are like based, I'm very sorry. I did not intend to leave, as I was saying before. I've had a lot of tech issues, and then things getting fixed, and then something else breaks, and then the computer itself is absolutely awful. Bless its soul. It's doing its job now. It's quite warm, to be fair. It's doing its job, but it's about 4 or 5 years old now, and absolutely not optimized for gaming or streaming or anything beyond turning it on and logging in. Bless it. But it's got me so far. But I am, this year, as you'll see, looking to upgrade so that I can actually play some games, because I've got, I think, 300 and odd games. Someone take my Steam account off me. Bookmarked, wishlisted, and in the recent, I'm just pressing things, hang on. In the recent, Steam sale, goodness me, words. In the recent Steam sale I did pick up 5 games, but I cannot play any of them at all, because my computer just will not handle playing them, never mind playing them and streaming them. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, you know. But upgrading my computer is on the list of things I want to achieve. It's on my bingo card, so that means it's got to happen, okay? But my ancient computer is the reason why I haven't done any cubism work. So it got about 6 months in the year, and I was like, let's see how I'm doing with my resolutions. And I was like, oh damn, we haven't achieved anything yet. Let's download cubism, we can do it, this is fine. And then my computer would just error on the download. It's that that old, bless it. It just was having none of it whatsoever, and then it got really hot and it started to close programs suddenly, and then I was like, this is not going to be conducive in any way, shape or form. So I just gave up. A lot of it is like, I tried and then I gave up, which is something I'm not going to do next year. We're going to do it, it's going to be fine. I do still want to rig my model, again, that is on my bingo card, because I feel like once my computer's upgraded, then the only thing stopping me learning cubism is my computer not being able to run the program. So once I have a new computer, nothing's going to stop me. It's going to be the first thing I'm going to do, because I really want to bring it to life. I've put like, I think 2 weeks straight of drawing work into her. I've changed her eyes about 5 times. I've changed her hair, I think twice, and then everything else has just kind of been okay. I do need to sort the mouth out. That is the biggest kind of hurdle for me, because as you can see, when I don't talk, I have lips, and then when I do talk, I kind of completely forgot to put the lipstick on the talking animation slide sheet thing. So that wasn't brilliant of me. Consistency who? But I do want to work out with the cubism for the live 2D model, because I don't want it to look weird, but a lot of the VTubers that I see have like straight lips, you know, no lipstick, or they're by very experienced riggers, and I'm absolutely not that whatsoever. But I do just want to kind of try and do it myself, you know. It's another thing of like, because I've drawn her myself, I don't know if I've done her wrong. I'm not sure if her layers are wrong. I don't want to burden a rigger with the wrong thing, because I'm not entirely sure how to fix it. So it's just a case of, if I if I'm the only one that has to see my work, then I will just have to like paint over the cracks. No one else will know. No one else will be plagued with the crumbling walls of the things I touch. But yeah, so I do think once I have an upgraded computer, then I will be able to do cubism, because I have all of the videos that I need, and I watch them and I see what people do, and I download like the helpful tips, and I follow a few riggers on Twitter to see their kind of, oh, this new update's come out, this is how this now works like this, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I have to like reread the post like 4 times to actually understand what I'm reading, but that's not the point. But yeah, I do genuinely want to try, because I feel like it's going to be so cool. And we'll just level up kind of like base artwork, you know? If I can just make my model blink and otherwise static artwork, and like her hair sway and things like that, I just feel like it's more visually appealing. So I do still want to do that. Consistency with my language learning is the only thing I managed to do. I have currently got a 418-day streak on Duolingo, which I know is not the best app, which is why it's the kind of didn't keep to issue as well. I wanted to use an app called Renshu, which is very, very useful, also free app, very good. And it's very intensive, I would say. It's got 40 questions, which can be a little bit long. For kind of like Duolingo's got it in small, snappy, kind of a few questions at a time. Some of them are small, like match the words kind of thing, listen, what does it say? Whereas these ones are like full sentences. Not everything is read out, I believe, but enough. Like if you need to know the inflection of a word, it has that, but it doesn't speak the sentence to you like Duolingo does, I don't believe. But I wanted to use Duolingo as a calendar, a tracker, you know. I'd be like, oh yeah, I did this day, that's cool. And then I want to use Renshu to actually, you know, learn something. Because it's very intensive. Like I said, it's 40 questions, and I'm on like Introduction to Japanese Sentence Structure or something. And it's a lot of like, he stood in the corner, which is fine because it will tell you what stand is. The stand user could be anyone. Or like cake, and then the sentence will be, she doesn't like to eat chocolate cake, but you only know what cake is. So it's a little bit more difficult, and generally I have to sit down with a book and write the full sentence, because I will get it wrong, because again, it just kind of teaches you one word and then throws you into a whole sentence with it that has lots of other words that you don't know. Whereas I find Duolingo kind of holds your hand a lot with like blue umbrellas and watching movies with friends for 3 weeks straight, you know. So I did want to not rely on Duolingo, I suppose, but not just use Duolingo. But that was all I ended up using because that has the tracker and Renshu doesn't. If Renshu had a tracker, I don't think I would have Duolingo downloaded. I'm just using it for the tracker and the fact it bugs you. But a lot of the time last year, well, this year, I suppose we're still technically in this year, aren't we? I would do it very, very late on a night, so I didn't have the time to sit for like an hour doing 40 full-on sentences where I didn't know the words. So it's doing the sentences multiple times, so obviously makes the lesson last longer. I do enjoy using Renshu. It's an incredibly intuitive app. It's got, I think it's called Shiratori Cat, where it's like, if I say pineapple, you have to say something with E that starts with E, and then I have to say something that starts with what your word finishes with English, but in Japanese, obviously. So that's been really fun to kind of use words that I wouldn't normally use, just because it starts with the thing that theirs ended with. It's very fun. I haven't got very far in it because I just don't know that many words, nor do I know many spellings of words, because you can't have ones that end in N, I think, or E. I think there's two letters that they don't want the words to end with as part of the rules. So there's been a few that I'm like, oh, this'll go here, this'll be fine, and then they're like, nuh-uh, nuh-uh, and then I lose. But it's been very fun. I do still have, I think, 5 or 6 textbooks that I bought a good few years ago now, to be honest. I think they're about 3 or 4 years old, and I have not worked in any of them because I'm very much a what if I mess it up, I don't deserve to have this book kind of thing, which is very stupid, obviously, because it's a textbook. They're there to mess up, but you know, logical Odette brain and like actual doing things Odette brain are 2 different brains, evidently. But yeah, I would say I've done enough because obviously I have a 400 odd day streak on Duolingo, so clearly I was doing something, but it was not the enough that I wanted to be doing, which again is all in my own hands. I chose to not do my lessons earlier because I'm stupid. You know. And then be more proactive content creation. It was a topic I touched on because they're all linked, honestly, it's all linked. I just didn't know what to post, and by the time I take forever to draw, which links into the last one. But like the Miku no, cinnamon roll, the cinnamon roll hair challenge post thing that was trendy, I think early last year, if not late the year before. I wanted to join that. I got my drawing all sketched up, it was lovely, and then the trend was dead by the time it was vaguely sort of ready, so I just give up. That, and I think the anatomy looked a little bit strange, so I just was like, yeah, this is not worth finishing and posting. The trend's dead, the picture's awful. Nah. But I don't really film anything, which I need to start doing. And then, because I don't film anything, I have nothing to post, and a lot of it is like finished things. And again, I want my feed to look nice. I want it to look pretty, but I just like there's a lady that I follow, and she only has like light blue and white as her aesthetic. So everything that she posts is light blue and white. She has like fashion posts and things she's baked, and you know, trinkets she's purchased and things like that, and they all follow the trend, and her page is just nice to look at. It's pleasing to the eye, but I'm just not that girl. Unfortunately, I'm very, very scattered. I cannot pick a favourite colour because I like all colours. I wanted to kind of take the colours that are in these resolution posts, so like browns, blacks, reds, oranges, kind of autumnal colours, and then I think the first thing I made was a bright yellow pair of socks, so that didn't follow the plan at all. I'm not very good at taking photos, so they don't look the nicest. Even if the colours are mismatched, they don't look the best. And because I have so many hobbies, my feed just isn't cohesive. There's like 40 crochet posts, and then a sewing post, and then an art post, and then 40 crochet posts, you know, and then some baking I did, and it just looks a little bit of a mess, and it's really kind of, goodness me, big yawn. It's really kind of adding to the pressure, I guess, which is all entirely self-placed on my own little shoulders, but it doesn't stop it from being there, you know? Just having a bit of a drink again. It doesn't stop it sort of like paralysing you in a sense, which also then is why I'm not posting any content, which is why I'm not getting any followers. The time is a circle. Things are circles. But yeah, the only thing I can do is just to hope to change and to kind of have more of an intentional memory of like, of thought, I suppose. Of like, I will film this, I will post this, because I just, you know, like I followed a trend at like the beginning-ish of last year, that was like, guess my age by my art. And it got, I think, just under 2,000 views. I think it was 1,800 views. And I had, I think, 20, 30 comments of people being like, 12. If you're any older than 10, never pick up a pencil again. Which did wonders for the, for the self... Huh? Just for me, you know? My little head gremlins. It was not a fun time. So then I became a little bit cautious about jumping on trends, because I don't have a team that can read the comments for me, that can filter them for me. I am just little old me, so having people be like, never pick up a pencil if you're in double digits, you know, my 6-year-old toe could draw better than this. And I know it's just people on the internet being mean, because that's what they do. But it still kind of sucks to see, you know, like I was just trying to turn a trend because that's what they all tell you to do, and then I'm being like dogged on, you know. But it just kind of sucked a little bit, so I just felt a little bit, not like jaded. I don't think anyone did anything grand. No one like stalked me from that post or anything like that. It was a fleeting, you know, moment in these people's lives, and I don't really think about it much. I don't really check the video anymore. I think the comments have died down. No one guessed my age, by the way. That was cool. But it was just an interesting trend to jump on. And then, yeah, the response was a little bit like, oh, cool. I don't really want to be swamped with this all the time, so maybe I'll just, you know, slowly post what I post, and then every other video I've posted has got maybe, I think, 200 views has been my best one since, but that's because I was doing it on a song that I saw that was trending, but it wasn't following this scheme, like the usual content that was associated with that song, so I think a lot of times I was being skipped over once it was apparent that I wasn't following what the song usually indicates, if that makes sense. Because again, with me having so many hobbies, it's just a case of like, what do you post when? If someone comes to me for crochet content and then I'm like, here's some sewing I did, here's some drawing I did, are they gonna stick around or are they gonna leave? Are they gonna subscribe if they look on my page and they're like, oh, there's only one of this type of post a month, a week, whatever. I'm not gonna, you know, I want more of that. But then I can't make like 4 different accounts. Could you imagine? This is Odette's channel for crochet, this is Odette's channel for artwork, this is Odette's channel for mindless rambling. It's just, I kind of like stress loop a lot, I think, which obviously is not ideal at all. Ow, I just punched my desk. That is not ideal. But yeah, I think, again, it's just a case of needing to take pictures, needing to actually actively go, hang on a minute, this can go on the gram, and deciding whether I want to pick, because I don't really want to pick a filter to then have everything be that filter, because I feel like that can like age your account a lot, and I don't want it to look naff. But I am a little bit lost, which is I think if I had some kind of content creation buddies, that would be something I could bounce off them with, but since I do not, I will have to work it out myself. And then my last one was set 30 minutes minimum a day for drawing, which I did maybe once. I have been absolutely awful with drawing. I used to be really good. I used to do just something. I used to have like a little sketch, like wind down from the day, but I just haven't. I absolutely have not. I wanted this year to be able to do the, you know, the yearly wrap up that everyone's posting now, like artwork they've done, so like January, February, that kind of thing. I could do that maybe with like 3 things that I've done total at all year, so it's not ideal. Like my VTuber model was something I worked on this year, but I can't show it because she's not finished, you know, and I kind of want to wait for the big reveal for when I debut her so I can show her off. Oh, there isn't really a ton to show off, but you know what I mean? I want it to be a surprise. She does look different from my PNG ever so slightly, so I don't want to like spoil it and then not feel as, not impactful, but you know what I mean, when it actually does get revealed. But yeah, that was what I wanted to achieve in 2024, and as I've said, I kind of sort of only did language learning, and everything else just kind of fell by the wayside. Goodness made me yawn. It's not even that late, my guy. I'm so tired. Big EP. And then a lot of my issues as well, I think, were the weight that I put on myself then immobilizes me to do anything, which obviously is not ideal. But for this year's, I decided to make a bingo card. It's extremely made in like, please don't judge me, graphic design is my passion. I made it in Canva in like 30 minutes. The longest thing was obviously working out what to put in the boxes. Everything else is just a recolor. Which obviously sucks, but honestly, if it's bugging me, I'll just go back in Canva and I'll change how it looks. But right now, I just needed it down, you know? I just needed it down. So I saw people that were like, if I make it a bingo thing, then it's a lot of little things, and then I'll feel motivated to stamp them off. And I was like, you know what? That might work. We'll try. We've tried everything else. You know, we've tried other things. Let's why not give it a go? I can only fail again, you know? What's the worst that can happen? So, upgrade my PC is something that we have already spoken about, just because it's a big thing that I want to do, because I feel like my PC is the next biggest thing to just give up on me. My microphone is absolutely fine. I've just got new headphones. My capture card's fine. Everything else is fine. It's just the actual computer itself, which is not holding me back, I guess, but stopping me doing a lot of things. I can do handcam streams fine. When the Switch loads the games, I can play those fine, because it's the Switch kind of handling the heavy powering, not the computer. But I've bought games on Steam that I want to play. There's a lot more games on Steam that I want to play, that I just like prefer the handling of to a Switch, and I don't really want to buy a Steam Deck, goodness me, to play them and port them over like I do with the Switch, because I just don't feel like I'm going to get much use out of the Switch, because my biggest use of the Switch is having it docked at the TV to just play, you know, with family, things like that. And obviously with the Steam Deck, yeah, tongue twister, you can't do that, so I don't feel like I would get as much use out of it as just upgrading my PC. You know, for the cost, I think it would be more effective to put that money into a new PC. And Quinn said he's going to build it for me, so that's going to be very, very fun. And that should help me upgrade it at a slower and a little bit more manageable rate than just kind of going ham to buy a whole new one. My next thing I wanted to do was post a drawing once a week, and I feel like that was more manageable than 30 minutes every day. It means that if I like sketch something, now I should have probably put sketch so that anything more than a sketch is like a bonus, I guess, but I myself know that it's like just something, even if it is a sketch, just get it up, just get it, you know, done, posted, something, because I can feel like my skills, quote unquote, because I wasn't a very good artist in general, but I do feel like I've slipped backwards, which is not the direction that you want to go in. Fun fact. But I feel like if I draw at least once a week, it takes the burden off doing it all the time. You know, 30 minutes every day. Maybe I don't have 30 minutes every day. Then I feel bad and then I've lost my momentum. But once a week, that could be 10 minutes one day, an hour another day. Job's done, you know, and then I could go into it further if I wanted to. So I feel like that gives me a little bit more leniency than last year's 30 minutes every day. You know, I can still win without needing to do it all of the time. start journaling. So last year I had a planner, but it had big empty boxes, so I would just kind of write how I was feeling. And that was fun, that was cool. But I wanted to be a bit more intentional with my journaling. My planner, unfortunately, cannot house that, so I'm going to use one of my many notebooks. But I just want to kind of take note of when I feel how I feel. Recently I got a big girl job. So in the beginning of the year, I tried to be self-employed, and that just did not work. I got backstabbed by so many friends, so that just, you know, quote-unquote friends. Grown adults are just, like, not it, you know? People I work with that are like, you're way too, like, experienced to be acting like a child in secondary school. Nope, definitely not. Definitely still just, yep, everything is just high school. Everything is just high school. So that sucked, and then I had to give that up because unfortunately I just could not afford to run it on my own when the plan was for multiple incomes to fund it, and nope. So that went out the window. So I have a big girl job now, which is 8 till 5, Monday through Friday. So that has obviously eaten up a lot of my weekdays. It does make me a little bit tired, but I do want to stream after work sometimes, because I don't want to like push it all to the weekend, and if something happens on the weekend, I'm like, damn, didn't do it, you know. That sucks, but it's just a case of working around it now, because I was struggling to keep the self-employed side, my little business. I've been struggling all year to keep that going, so that was eating up any time, like the weekends, and any time after my job. That was eating up all of that time, so I had absolutely no time for this at all, which sucked, because I did sit there and I was like, I would love to do that, but it would be like a 20-minute stream and I would not get anything done at all in that time, so there was just no point, you know, plugging everything in, running everything up for 2 seconds of stream, you know. So it was just a case of, damn, maybe next time. But I think now I can assess my time a little bit better. However, I have not learnt my lesson, and I want to try a different business, a different stream. I would like to make my own crocheted plushies and things to sell, because I think they're very fun. So I might do a series. So I live in Merry England, which means everything that I make to sell has got to abide by the UK CA regulations. Sorry, my computer just... What are you doing? Who asked for precision mode? Oh, I'm tapping things on the bloody board. Hang on. Alright, I don't think it's actually affected the stream, so it could just stay there. I now have precision mode on my screen, because I cannot remember which buttons set it off, and I do not want to press them to set more off. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna kind of do like a series, so like testing things I'm gonna make, any markets I go to, things like that. I think that could be a fun little side series, which I think I want to include. I'm not 100% sure. We shall see how in detailed I get with it. But on the line of managing my time, I want to upload 12 videos this year, which is 1 a month, which should be doable. Again, this is like a minimum, and then anything over that is a bonus, you know. Next to my bingo, because I have this digital, which is going to get posted on the social medias, which will absolutely be an eyesore. It's so bad. Why did I pick these colours? But next to the one that I've drawn out for myself, so that I have it above me on my computer all the time, next to that I've drawn a ton of tiny little 1cm boxes for everything. So this has got upload 12 videos, so I have got 12 squares with the title 12 YouTube videos, so every time I do one, I can see how far in the line that I am, you know. So if one month I because I was going to do one video per month, but then that leaves me with the same thing that the 30 minutes left me with. If I skip a month or like mess up or for whatever reason cannot post for that 1 month, it's then thrown everything off, you know? So if I just do 12 videos, that is to me once a month. But if for whatever reason, like May, if everything I make in May ends up being absolutely awful and nothing gets posted at all, or like I lose my leg, you know, it's not technically gonna throw me off so long as by the end of the year I have 12. And while I have my 12 boxes, it means I can see, you know, am I falling behind? Has there been 2-3 months where I haven't posted yet to kind of know that I need to get a move on kind of thing? So I am aiming for 1 per month, but it depends how it goes, you know? I just no promises. My videos, so these are like pre-recorded. These are just straight uploads, not live streams. These are just straight uploads in that box. I'm not sure, the covers don't count because they're obviously pre-recorded, uploaded content as well, but they don't count, they're different. So yeah, so in those videos it will be like sewing vlogs, general vlogs. I've been really inspired by Alt Knots. I love her channel. I drew a really bad, I'm really sorry, it's really ugly, drawing for her, because she just inspires me so much. She's so uniquely her in such a cool way, and she's not everything I want to be in like a weird way, but you know what I mean. She inspires me basically, and she does a lot of like just snippets of like, this is what I'm working on, this is what you know, the coffee I'm drinking, which very jealous, she has so many cool sounding coffees. Unfair. And like, this is what I'm watching, and this is what I'm this is like a trip I've took to my local Joann's, which we do not have here in Merry England, I do not believe, but things like that, you know, little snippets of things that just make like a daily vlog instead of a item specific vlog, which again is what slows me down. So if this thing that I'm making takes over a month to do, I've then got to film it all, edit it all, and then upload it all, you know, so that is going to take over into another month, you know, so it's not something that I can just like film, upload, that's job done, you know. Again, this 12 is a minimum 12, so if I do kind of have more, I will upload them. I'm not gonna like hoard it to be like, oh well, I have my month, you know, I have May's posted for in the first week, so this video I have at the end of May, I'm gonna hoard it until what comes after May? June. I'm gonna like hold on to it till the middle of June, and then that's gonna, because I end up holding on to too much and then nothing gets posted because I end up losing everything. Not ideal. So if things are ready, then they'll go up. I'm not going to hold it to 1 per month, it's just 12 videos, but ideally, for the ideal workflow, it will be 1 per month. Lots of, like I said, sewing videos are quite intensive, so I feel like they will go over multiple weeks. They might be like a bigger project, but since my workshop is now moved, so in the videos that I post, my workshop will look entirely different to the ones that anything new that I will making now will look entirely different because I'm in an entirely different building. So that's lovely, it's ideal. But now I have access to my sewing machine all the time, but I don't have access to the nice clear white wall that I had, so I'm going to be a little bit more kind of stealthy with my filming, just so I don't dox myself, because I'm around a lot more of my own stuff now instead of having a separate work studio, which sucks, but life is life, you know. We'll make it work, it's fine. But yeah, so it's just gonna be kind of sewing videos, any crochet videos, things I'm working on, things I'm not working on, just a little bit more like casual kind of vloggy vlogs, you know, which is something I'm gonna have to balance. with also being a VTuber, because I don't want to do IRL stuff. I'm not interested in it. I have the face for radio, I think is how it's said. So we're not doing that. So it will just kind of be hands and whatever I'm doing, but I think it would be fun. I want to try anyway. If it's only sewing videos I can do, then I'll change for the next year. I'll change to be like, do this many sewing videos, this many, you know. But we'll see. I think I can do it. The next thing I want to do is use plush yarn. Now I have one. It's like a biscuity, teddy kind of colour. Because I've used normal yarn, obviously, like the standard 4-ply, like acrylic. I've used one simply alpaca. It's like 80% alpaca, 60% something like that. I've used that before. I haven't used any 100% sheep's wool yet, and I've used chenille yarn. I've used a lot of chenille yarn, but I haven't hacked the teddy kind of plush fluffy stuff yet. So I do want to make stuff with that because I just think it looks really, really sweet. I saw a bee on Instagram and it's the same pattern that I have, but mine looks not boring, but it looks kind of basic in comparison to the really cute fluffy one, and I just think they look really, really adorable. So this year I want to successfully make something with plush yarn because I just think they look so, so cool, and again it would add something different to my crochet store, you know? It would just be something cool, something different. None of the businesses around me that do crochet use fuzzy, like fluffy, the teddy kind of yarn. They just use chenille or like the base acrylic wool kind of stuff. So I think it would help me stand out a little bit, but obviously I need to do that sooner rather than later, so that's on the list. Then my next one is crochet a flower a month. Again, a lot of the crochet, all of these like crochet heavy, I realise. A lot of the crochet companies around me only do like plushes and like this little fidget mushroom that I've been playing with, which is why I keep punching the mic. They don't tend to do flowers or decor or things like that. Now I don't know if that's like because it doesn't sell, so I'm gonna find that out. But I find crochet flowers very, very sweet. I find them very cute. I've made I think 4 lilies, but my issue is a lot it's similar with everything else. I start it and then I just kind of give up. So I have a pink, a yellow, a blue, and I think a brown, like a beige lily crocheted out. Like I have all the flowers and the leaf, and I just haven't put them together. Why? It's the last step. It's literally the easiest, the quickest step, and I just haven't. I just keep making more petals because that's the fun bit to me. So I think the solution to that is stop being so lazy, but also I think I'm gonna actually rope my mother, sweet little mum Odette, into just building my flowers for me, because then I can just do the crochet bit, the fun bit, and then she can do the boring wire bit, you know, make the actual flower for me, which I think will help. I think that's kind of the way forward for me. But yeah, so again, same with the post drawing a week and the 12 video upload. I have got 1 flower a month, so I've got 12 boxes, and then I've got 12 flowers. Well, spaces flowers actually. I've just got a rose. I want to finish a rose in January. And again, it's the same. If I want to do more, then I can do more, but I want to do at least 1 a month. And that's one type of flower, so whether I do like 6 roses or whatever, so long as I've done 1, then that's fine. Or if I want to do a rose, then I want to do a lavender, and then I want to do then, you know, if I have lavender further down in the 12, then that will get like cancelled off, because this is per month, because I just want to make sure that I'm consistently doing something. So I'm not sure if I will sit here like right now and plan out my whole 12, or I'm just gonna like do some, see how I feel, see what comes up, because there's many flowers out there. I think that's quite a wide thing that I can do. So again, I have my thing on so I can check, can make sure that I'm up to date with things. So that's gonna be like a long one. It's gonna be like a full year one. I do realize a lot of these for a bingo card and not something that's like a one-off. I can stamp like immediately, but I think there's like 3 of them, isn't there? Right? Yeah, there's 3 that are gonna be full doodah ones, but I just have to stick to my guns, won't I? For minimum of 4 live streams a month. So again, it's a little bit like last year. I gave myself a follower goal that I wanted to achieve, but it wasn't very, like, be more proactive with your uploading, but it's not exactly something easy to follow, whereas 4 live streams a month, that's 1 a week. I can do 1 a week, because that's about what I managed before, when I want to do 3. But if I put 3 a week, and then I don't do the 3, it's then the falling out of sync again, you know? So for this one, I don't actually have... I knew I'd left a space for something. I'm such a moron. I will have to make I think what, 4x12? Yeah, a 4x12 grid for this one, because I've forgotten it. I left the space for it, just didn't draw it, because I'm just such a big bat brain. But again, it's the same thing. It's just, if I put in the minimum that I want to do, anything above that will be a bonus and will be something that I can like strive towards, you know? So again, the reason why I did 4 a month and not 1 a week is just in case something happens, you know? If I'm like bedridden with big bat flu, you know, and I miss a week, then if it's per week, then that week is then ruined, you know? Whereas if it's per month, that means I just have to do 2 the next week. Kind of thing. To me, it makes more sense. It gives me a little bit more leniency while still being specific in what I need to do. And I think 4 live streams a month gives me enough to still be actually making content, but I can still build upon it. Whereas if it was like 3 live streams a week, it would be hard to push that, you know? It would be a little bit difficult. So, but I think for where I'm at, I think 4 live streams a month is a good base, but I absolutely am aiming for 3 a week. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what all of my all the schedules I made absolutely eons ago, that's what they're all for. Bless. I can finally use them. Again, with having more of a solid timeline, it means I can just start planning my schedule a little bit better. So that will be good. I'm looking forward to that quite a lot. Finish my live 2D model. So as I mentioned in the last one, the mouth. It's the mouth that's holding me back. I may do the mouth and some arms, but I'm not great at anatomy, so I don't want to make a ton of arms that I will not know how to draw properly or break down properly and then rig it properly. So I'm kind of just keeping it simple enough as to not overwhelm myself, but it's quite literally only the mouth that needs doing, and then she's finished. But it's a case of, well, I don't need to finish the mouth because she can't be rigged yet, because I can't, because of the computer. Another thing I want to do this year is learn to drive. While that's not going to immediately benefit my future career, it means that I can go driving places. I can maybe go to a different craft shop other than the one close to me. It means I can go to markets further out, even as a buyer, not necessarily as a trader, you know? I just think like it will give me a lot more I can do. So that's something I want to do. I've been umming and ahhing about it since middle-ish of last year, but I think this year is going to be my year that I'm going to do it, you know? I'm going to really put my little bat brain to it. But yeah, this bat is going to be thriving, hopefully. My next one is to do, goodness me, is to do one collab, which is building on the one that I had last year, which was build bridges and collab, but it didn't have a finite amount. Obviously I did none. I built 0 bridges. We collabed with a ghost. No one, you know? But again, if I put 1 down, I feel like that is somewhat attainable. Especially if I am doing everything else. There's a lot of uploading that will be being done, which will mean that there's more stuff for people to potentially like, and you know, the circle circles. So I feel like 1 collab is a good minimum, but also in my current position is a good thing to actually aim for. Be that with someone who likes to crochet, you know. I'm not saying what platform this has to be on. Would it be cool to be on YouTube and do a live stream with someone? Yes. Am I extraordinarily nervous for that? Yes. But maybe I could do something like an art collab, you know, like 2 artists, 1 base. That would count to me. That's working with someone. Or like a crochet collab, you know. I make this, you make that, we've worked together. That would be cool. Or working with someone on a pattern, you know, that'd be really cool, you know. So there's a lot of ways that this collab could happen. I think I just need to stick to my guns and make sure there's actual content for them to be like, oh, this is a person that is still posting. So for garments, so I'm gonna have a lot more time to easily access my sewing machine, which should mean that I'll get more done, but because my sewing machine is now in my home, it means I'm very much distracted by the wondrous internet, you know, and I get very paralyzed in doing nothing, and I doom scroll and I doom spiral in my own head. You know, there's been times where I've woke up at like 6:30 in the morning and been like, I will be productive today, I will do this, I will. And then I just spiral and I'm sat there and I won't even necessarily be on my phone, but I will just sit paralyzed with like, do something, pick something, you have to move and do something, why are we sat here? And then it's like 6 o'clock and I've done nothing and I feel awful and I'm angry, but at myself, at my like electric meat slab, because I've just sat and done absolutely nothing. And it's gained me absolutely nothing, you know? It's the same as the just do it, you know? I just need to just pick something and do it. And I did a quiz that said I was the type of personality, I don't know how true this is, you know, whether I'm like a sesame seed baguette or whatever, you know, but it said that I would benefit from planning every hour to an extent, you know? And I feel like that would work for a bit, but I feel like that would also get extraordinarily overwhelming, you know? Or like, what if I'm scheduled to crochet for 3 hours, but actually I want to draw? You know? I'm like, but I'm not allowed to, the timetable says. And then if I'm drawing when I don't want to, then that's not going to be very productive, you know? So I feel like that is too far for me, but I feel like what I'm working on, like I say, if I just do something a week, something a month, it's a big enough or roundabout goal that I should be able to achieve without being too specific, too vague. I know what I needed to do, you know? So 4 garments is either a blouse, a skirt, or a dress. I do have a coat that I want to make, actually. That counts. But just something, probably vintage inspired, because that's what I like, but nothing too elaborate. That's a separate because I don't think I'm going to be making any cosplays, because I don't think that would count as a garment. Garments to me is something I can wear every day, is how I categorize them. So I don't think it will be anything too elaborate in that. And again, that one is in boxes so I can see, you know, if I'm in November and I only have one, we panic. A lot of stress sewing is going to be going on, if that is the case, but hopefully I should be a little bit better than that. And that is sewing garments, not making them. I do want to knit myself the Bernadette jumper, like the iconic, is it 1900s? 1890s? Pass. Like a historical looking jumper with the big puffy sleeves. I desperately want to make that. I have like 4 different colourways I want to make it in because it just looks like it will be the sweater to end all sweaters for me. It looks historical enough to, if I wear it with like an Edwardian skirt, you're going to be like, oh, that looks Edwardian. But if I just put the jeans on, you're going to be like, oh, I say owning exactly 0 pair of jeans. 0. You know what I mean? I feel like I can dress it down or dress it up and it will still just be special to me. So I do want to make that. I have not bought the pattern yet, but that would not count because it's not a sewed pattern. Anyway, it was the point. I want to make like jumpers and things like that, but they don't count in that one, in that box. Again, I'm setting myself for 3 song covers. I feel like I should have learned from the past year. We shall see. I was gonna just put like 1 or 2 because then I've got like 6 months to work on each cover realistically, but I was like, do you know what, 3. We'll try again, and then if I don't get anything done this year, we'll reassess and potentially give up on singing. But I think 3 is doable with what I've tried to chew off and what I haven't managed to do. It's just a case of absolutely planning so far ahead. Learn new techniques is so incredibly vague. I realise that now. Am I gonna go back and change it? No. But I just punched the box. I'm so sorry. New techniques for me. There was a lot of different things I want to learn. So like plush yarn was specific enough that I could have a finished thing and be like, yeah, this is new. It's technically a new technique, but I want to learn so much more. I want to learn crochet colour work. I want to learn how to draw properly, which is also incredibly vague, but I feel like, you know, end of the year, it's in the middle, you know, it's kind of like a free space, isn't it? When I feel like I've learned enough, you know, if I sit down middle of November and I'm like, I've learned mosaic crochet, I've learned the other types of crochet colour work, I want to learn how to do, I don't think it's double strand knitting, but the 2 colours at a time, where the scarf is how I usually see it, is like a dark blue with a light blue pattern on one side and it's light blue with a dark blue pattern on the other side, but you knit it at once. That is incredibly interesting to me. So that's something I want to learn. I want to learn, I know there's 3 types of crochet colour work. I've done the single crochet. I have little tapestries. I have that. I haven't done mosaic crochet. And I know there's one other. Because I had them sit down as 3. And then what else do I want to learn? I want to learn so many things. So I thought this was a nice vague way to not be like, and I want to learn this, and I want to learn that, and I want to learn that, because I was like running out of boxes. So new techniques is just something I'm gonna like get to a point and then assess and be like, yep, we learned some new. We learned some new, that's good. Release my lore comic. So I have been working on a webtoon since before Odette was a thing. Like before my very first stream. I have lore ideas for the museum. I have lore ideas for why I'm here, why I'm doing this, how Quinn fits into all this. I have so many ideas. They're currently only in sketchbooks and things like that, but I want to make a webtoon and I want to have at least the first chapter, the first paragraph, put out. So that's something that I think I can work on, you know? It may be ugly, because I think, again, what puts me off is that I know that my artwork skill is not great. I don't think it's going to last very long, especially since I haven't been doing much with drawing, so my skills obviously slipped a lot. But if at some point I decide you know, this is really ugly, I'm gonna re-release it, then I can re-release it, you know? But I need to get it out, you know, I need to just take it off my sketchbook, get it out into the world, get it done, and get it crossed off this list. So, finish my new banner. So I've had my very awfully edited, again I did it in Canva, with paying absolutely no attention to the size of the different places that it would be needed. I just did one size and hope for the best. So I think on YouTube bits of it cut off, on Twitter bits of it cut off. I think it's an absolute nightmare. So I just want to do another one. I want to draw it. It's gonna be my first big drawing. I have it sketched out, so that just needs finishing, and then this one will be ticked off. Next thing is to rig my model, which obviously is something that will happen later on, I think, in the year, because I obviously need my new PC, but I think starting my driving lessons is going to come first, so it's not going to be like immediately going to happen, but at some point this year I'm definitely, because I'm worried I'm going to open my model and be like, this entire thing needs redrawing, so I need to rig it before we get to that point. Because there's no way I can scrap all that work. But we'll see. Specialist exercises. So I would absolutely love to do a 3D live karaoke. That is like a goal that I want to do. I think it'd be really cool, but my current stamina and my knees would absolutely commit the perish. It just absolutely not. So I need to focus on being able to sing and jump about, basically. So that's what this one is. Again, it's gonna be a thing that, like, the end of the year, I'm gonna be like, yep, we did that, okay. But I think I'm gonna take inspiration, I think, from what like K-pop artists do, but absolutely not do that. Not straight away anyway. I can do enough to like collect family members and get them out of the building if it was on fire, but I'm not super fitnessy focused. But I want to do more, you know, but especially specialist ones that are going to help fuel the end goal of a live concert, you know? So that's what that means. So I think I'm gonna pick a routine, pick a regime, and then just keep at it, you know? Continue with language learning, which is one of the ones that I think I can do. Again, it's gonna be an end of the year thing, but I want to actually do what I was supposed to do last year. Even if it's once a week, sit down with Renshu for 2 hours, something like that, make the brain wrinkle form, and then just Duolingo's like a fun little pocket kind of tracker app, you know? But I do want to do it a little bit more intensely than I have been, because I just feel like in 400 days I should be further than I am, So I need to apply myself more with what I'm doing. I need to use my sketchbooks, my textbooks. I need to use the app that's there. It's a free app, it's a brilliant app. It's just not something I can do on the fly like I can Duolingo, which is why I'm not favouring it, but it's why I'm not going as in depth as I should be. But if I want to collab, what if I want to collab with someone in Japan? You know, I follow quite a few Japanese crochet and knitting and obviously VTubers, and I'm just going to be absolutely lost, aren't I? If I'm like, oh yes, I've been doing Japanese for 400 days, do you want a blue umbrella? It's just not going to be very good, is it? So I need to really get on with that. Next one is knit 4 pairs of socks. Again, that is chalked out on the top so I can see if I need to like hurry up or what. I have got 2 pairs of socks in width. One of them is getting pulled out, is getting frogged, I suppose is the correct thing for it. It's a really fluffy, fuzzy yarn, and I tried to pick something that had multiple cables and one that's got lace work in the cable, and it really hurts my hand, and you really cannot see at all the pattern because it's just too dark. It's too dark, it's too fuzzy, it's a waste of time. So I've picked something a lot more plain for it, because I think the wool itself just needs to speak for itself. So that one's gonna get pulled out. And then the other one is it's like one step at a time, or a step in autumn. It was a sock I was working on last time. I don't have a ton to do on that one, but it is still in the bag. I've been absolutely awful at knitting recently. Crochet has been taking over my life. And just procrastinating, you know? It's not been fun. But I do want to get back into knitting, and socks are such a short-ish, like easy to move around with project. So I think 4 socks over the year, that's what, 1 every 3 months? 1 pair every 3 months. I have 1.5 months per sock. I should be able to do that, right? But yeah, I have some sock wool that I want to use up from Herbie. I have about 6 balls, I think, 5 or 6 unused, and then I have 2 currently in whip. So that will be more than enough to do. I don't think I'm gonna count the walking through autumn ones, because I'm pretty sure I've either finished a sock or I'm on the toe decreases, so that doesn't really count as like a pair. But I do want to get it off the needles, so I don't know. Do I count as like 1 sock, and then when I get 1 sock into another pair, it's like, oh cool, here's my 4 pairs. We'll see. I might put that one on hold for a little bit longer. Maybe get 2 done and work on that one in between others. We'll see. But I want to do 4 pairs because I've been absolutely awful at knitting in this past year, when the year before I did about 6 socks. So it's quite unfortunate really that I didn't do too much, but again, crochet has been something I picked up in I think August last year, and then I really got into it. No, it was August this year. No, it wasn't August at all, I lied. I think it was like June. I think it was June this year. That I actually managed to pick it up, because I think I tried to pick it up in August last year and I just could not get it whatsoever. I tried to make a pom-pom purin, and oh my goodness, it looks like a cheese grater and a nightmare fused. I believe I've thrown it away now, so I can't even show you. But it was awful. It was holy, the tension was abysmal. I don't even think it was an actual crochet stitch at all. But then I, applied myself a little bit better. Sorry, I just did a massive yawn. I applied myself a little bit better, and now I can make things, and it's lovely. I need to make a hammock for all of my little crochet minions to go in, but I want to do more crochet kind of content with the channel, and things like that. I have so many plans, so many things I want to do, and I just can't get around to it, you know. The next thing I want to do is bind a book. I have been interested in book binding for like a year and a half, and I haven't done anything with it. I've managed to make paper, although I posted that I think on my Twitter. I don't think I went on my Instagram, but I managed to make like 6 pages of like kind of thin but thicker than printer paper out of egg boxes. It was very fun. It was very, very fun. And then I tried to make some out of newspaper, but all the ink bled together and it looked absolutely awful. So I didn't finish that. But again, I think that's come home with me, I think. So it would be cool to do more with that. But I do just want to bind a book, and I think I'm going to do just a sketchbook, you know, just find some paper about the house and turn it into a sketchbook. Because I just think it would be fun. I think, again, it's a case of like just doing it. I'm building myself up. I'm watching a ton of videos, you know, like soft bound ones, hard bound books, leather bound books, things like that. I think it would just be a soft bound one with a soft sewn spine instead of a glued one, because I'm not quite sure I have the technical know-how for that, but we shall see, we shall see. I kind of want to do like a few little collection of, I don't know those proper terms, but a few like mini books in a big book kind of thing, so there'd be like multiple lines of stitches, because then you can make some absolutely gorgeous patterns on the spines. But that's something I want to do. I just want to bind a book, just to have it done, you know, just have that experience. Say I did it finally, instead of like, oh, that would be cool, that would be cool, that would be cool. And then I'd have my very own bound book, and that would be very, very cool. I want to finish 2 jigsaws. So last year, I actually managed to finish 3, technically, sort of. But it happened that in every single one of the jigsaws I picked, they were missing at least one piece. One piece? No. They were missing at least one piece of the puzzle, which meant they were not fully finished, which is very, very irritating. Because they weren't marked on the box, so I get a lot of my jigsaws secondhand from charity shops and things like that. People selling them because they don't want them anymore. Things like that. So it's the risk that you take, but it's just a bit irritating, you know. I spent like months on those things and they're not fully completable, but I still think I want to frame them, and then I'll just paint the gap if it's going to bother me that much. But I want to finish 2 this year because I've been buying a lot more than I've been finishing. So I've sort of put myself on a note about it. There is 2, I think, that are my absolute dream jigsaws to find in the wild. So if I find them, then I'll buy those, but anything else is absolutely off limits, you know, till I finished at least 2, because I just have so many and I need to be working through them. So that's going to be a goal. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do a jigsaw stream, because I just don't have the framework to be able to put the camera somewhere high and trust that I'm not just going to shove my full face in the view. But we shall see, we shall see. It might just be a case of like in a vlog, you know? Here's what I'm working on, here's what I've got, here's like the 2 corner pieces I found, let's go. The next thing I've got is make a mini bear, which is a little sewn bear. I want to make one that can move its arms and legs. Mum Odette, bless her soul, has been getting some bear magazines. So some of them are really like sculpted, gorgeous, dyed, like artisan bears, and each book comes with, I think, at least 2, some come with 3, some come with 4 sewing patterns, and there is a good couple that I'm like, I need this in my life. And I have some scraps of fabric that I think would make absolutely adorable bears. There's one that she has, and it makes a 5-inch bear. I'm not sure if that's sat down or stood up, but it it's gonna be absolutely tiny, and I would really love to have just a tiny little bear. You know, what can go wrong? 2025 cannot go wrong if I have a tiny little bear. So I might stream that. I might make one with my mum, just to make sure I'm doing it properly, because my mum makes memory bears, like heirloom bears. She takes people's, like, what people give her, so she just like steal them. People give her like primary school uniforms or work uniforms or a shirt from a fundraiser. We've had someone brought in a shirt that her husband wore to a cancer fundraiser that he did, and he raised so many thousands of pounds, and she was like, he doesn't want to wear the shirt anymore because it's not just a shirt anymore, but having a shirt just kind of sat there doing nothing is a little bit kind of, you know, when we can memorialize it into a bear. So my mum made a bear. It was very, very cute, and Lydia's very happy. So she does things like that, so she knows way more than I ever could, because I've just made my dinosaur that I made last year, and I made a cat, and I think I made a gorilla. I love my gorilla. He's made out of a sun, a quilt cover with suns on it, and he's just very happy. He's very bright. I love him. I still want to make the dress for that, actually. I don't think I brought that fabric with me though. Anyway. But yeah, I might make one with Mum Odette, and then I might make one on stream, because I think it's very, very sweet. But obviously the issue is the pattern, so I think I'll have to have all the pieces cut and then just gesture you to the magazine if you want to buy it to get the pattern. I'm not sure. We shall have to see the logistics on that one, because I don't want to get sued at all. But that's something else I want to do, because I just think it's very cute, you know, a cute little bear. And then I want to finish a cross stitch, so I have got 4 currently cross stitches. No, 5. I have 5. That's a lie. I have 5. I bought one ages ago, absolutely years ago, when I first started university. I bought one, and that is about, I want to say 60 to 70% done, and I haven't touched it for like 2 years now, so that's not ideal. It's a little cottage with you know the wheels that they have that turn the water that makes the electric go? It has one of those. And it's very sweet. The colours are a little bit muddy, but it's quite sweet. It was only cheap. And then I have 2 that I got from a charity shop. One of them is a love heart shape with flowers and butterflies, and it has the scientific name, I think, for both of them next to the respective flower and butterfly, so that's quite sweet. And then I have one where it's a lady in a red dress and she's ice skating. Those 2 are unfinished, unstarted, should I say. And then at work, I got donated 2. One of them is a stag on like a misty tree background. It's quite cute. I think it will be quicker than what I'm currently working on, because it's only a few colours. There's not a ton of colour changes like with the ones I have now. And then the other one is dogs with cowboy hats, which is very, very fun, and she has started one of them. I think one of them has a pink cowboy hat, and she's done like the ear and I think the nose of the dog, but other than that it's completely empty. So that would be fun to do, but I just want to finish one to have it done, buy a nice frame for it, get it on the wall, and then I can send another one, you know. But I would like to finish one, and I think it probably will be the one that I've had started for quite a while, because I just feel, not that I'm cheating on it by like doing other ones, but it's just a case of like I just want to get that one done so I can clear mind to start on other things. So that would be nice to do. So one historical piece. So like I mentioned, I was talking about my garments. I want to do one big elaborate piece, and I don't think I have the fabric with me, so that's going to be a bit annoying. But there's a pink dress. There's a painting of a lady in a pink dress, and I think it's medieval inspired. It's a light pink dress. I think the lady's blonde or like mousy brown hair, I'll have to do a video on it because it's maybe delving into my plans a little bit more. If I'd have thought this out, I could have done this so much better. I could have like picked 4 sock patterns I wanted to do and picked 4 garment patterns I wanted to do. That's so irritating. I might do it in a vlog. I might bring it up in a vlog because I definitely want to do that piece, I think, because I've had the fabric for such a long time and the dress is really intriguing to me, but I think it's based on not even medieval, I'm not even sure when, potentially around the Regency-ish, because it looks like it's an empire waisted gown. Kind of looks like something out of Merlin, but I think it has been enhanced by the artist in like a fantasy kind of setting, so I'm not sure of the back. I'm not sure how it's supposed to fasten. I'm not sure how the bottom is supposed to look, because I'm pretty sure it's just like the hip up. And I like to have a full, you know, this is what I'm replicating kind of thing. So I think that's what's been holding me off that one. So I either want to do that one or make another Edwardian ensemble, because I have a wool Edwardian skirt that I love to sew in because it's just so like swooshy, and I feel like such like an Edwardian lady, you know, in my little factory making my little clothing. It's very nice, it's very sweet. I love it so much. I find the clothing very comfortable, so it's a toss up between those two, I believe, but I'll have to assess what I want to do when it comes to it, I think. Again, I don't want to do something too huge, but I feel like if it is going to be a big historical piece, then I'm going to need to like plan it, you know, this is the skirt, any foundation layers, any embellishment, any sampling I need to do, things like that. I don't want to be leaving it to like November and then I'm stress making a piece, you know? So I think I'm gonna have a little bit of a think on what I want to do. Even if I don't like dead set decide, I think if I have 2 or 3 and I can do a breakdown of, so I need to know if I need to buy anything more, if I need to like do a sample of technique, if I need to just do something, you know? We'll see. I'll have to do like a historical things I want to make, maybe touch on it in a vlog or something. And then the last thing on my bingo card is learn tufting. So I have got Mum Odette again. Was really inspired by rug tufting videos she saw in America. So we had a rug tufting gun sent over from America, and then she changed the plug on it to be a UK plug. Because as I've said before, we are in Merry England. And then she ordered wood, and then kind of got stuck on that. But so she's gonna build her own frame. We have rug tufting fabric. So we just want to make our own rugs, you know, and I just think that would be very, very cool. And I've put it on here because I want to make myself, I saw online there was keyboard rugs that people were making, so they would go over your keyboard as like dust covers, and then when you're using your keyboard you use them as like a wrist protector thing, like a mouse pad for your wrist. And I thought that would be very, very cool, and I wanted to do one of Odette, obviously. Something museum based, maybe have like a bookcase in the background with her face or something. We'll see. You know, I haven't thought too far into it. But I just thought it would be really, really cool, and I could make my own custom rugs. And then people were making like car rugs, so there would be coasters that you put in like the little holes for your car where the cup goes. And I thought that was really cool. And then people were making like artwork basically in rug form. I just thought it was so cool. So I want to learn that. We have both the rug tufting gun and the punch needle, which gives you a similar-ish effect, but you're doing it by hand, like stabbing, instead of with the gun doing the stabbing. So I do want to do both. I do think that's quite fun. I think I may just make like a coaster with the hand one, because I don't want to do anything too detailed. but if it goes well, then it might be a new stream idea. If it goes awfully, I never mentioned it, okay? But they're just things I want to do. A lot of things. It's nothing like new-ish, you know. Using the plush yarn is, bending a book is new, making a bear is new, learning to tuft is new, but it's nothing too far out of my realm of what I can do already. It's just a lot of just doing, you know. It's the issue, the age-old issue I've had for many a time, is just actually doing. But I want to be more creative this year. I do want to do more. I'm sure I said this last year, but I am kind of annoyed at myself for kind of just sticking in the cool idea, the safe zone, you know? Nothing ever gets done because I'm too scared to go out of my safe zone. But this year, I do really want to try, you know? I do really want to actually put myself out there. I want to let myself be allowed to experience things, you know? I want to be vulnerable. I want to be able to look back and be like, I did that. I genuinely gave that my whole try, you know, my whole self. I put my entire being into it. And I just want to do, you know? So this is a way for me to just do. These are all fairly small, bite-sized pieces, but there's enough of them where I can be like, right, I have nothing planned this weekend. Let's bind a book. Let's do that stream. Let's do this cover. You know what I mean? I can be doing something, I feel like, and it's enough different types of things that I'm hoping there'll always be something. If I'm like, you know, I don't want to knit right now, but I can crochet something, I can sew something, I can just sit and film and talk to you guys, you know? I just need to do, and like actually do this time. Because I always look back and I'm like, if I'd have just done this years ago, where would I be? Where would I be, you know? But I didn't, so I'm not. But, you know, I'm making my plans, and I'm gonna do my absolute best to stick to them as best I can. Obviously, like, no magic fairy's gonna come and do it for me, so I just need to do, and I'm rambling a little bit. But I'm gonna really try this year, because I think this will be, I think, my 4th year of quote-unquote trying, quote-unquote wanting to be a VTuber, wanting to be, and it's kind of like you do it or you walk away this year, you know? I feel like even if I don't do everything on this list, you know, I'm not gonna graduate necessarily, but if I'm like, I've done one of these things, maybe it's not right for me, then I'll assess, then we'll see. But I don't want to be too much of a negative Nancy. But yeah, that's kind of the breakdown. And I think this year is setting me up a little bit better than last year's was. Last year's was super vague, but also very specific. Like, build bridges. What does that mean? 2 friends? 6 friends? 20 friends? I end up with none, so hee. But again, I just think friendship is something, in that instance, it's a bit hard to be like, we're best friends, because I might think we are, but then you might not, you know? Like, you know? It's a bit awkward, so at least a collab is a very definite thing. I think that's what I've tried. Aside from learn new techniques, because there was just so many, I don't want to put one specific one in case, like, mosaic crochet, because I didn't get around to doing that one, but I learned other things, so that's why that one's ambiguous. Finish new banner seems ambiguous, but it is on my end. It's something that's sketched out. 4 pairs of socks is something I can do. I have 2 or 3, but I have a ton, honestly, bookmarked. but I have one that I've definitely set up that I want to do with my sock, my blue fuzzy sock wool, because the pattern I've picked is just too busy. It's too difficult. My hands are crying in pain, and it's not worth it because you can't see the pattern at all. So that one's going to be something plain, so I need to just pick, I think, a day, a morning ideally, where I can just pull that out all the way, because I've done the cuff, and then I've done a little bit, I would say I'm a few more rows from the heel turn, but I've done quite a bit, so I need to be able to pull it all back, because it's too fluffy for the yarn winder. It just knotted up so bad, so I don't want to try that again. So I'm just gonna have to undo it all and then immediately cast it back on, to make sure it doesn't get knotted up, get damaged or anything like that. So I'm just gonna have to pick like a day where I know I can sit there all morning and just nail it, because I think I can work on it faster because the pattern is less intensive. But anyway, rambling. I think I've set myself up for a good year this year. A lot of these things I can work around until I have my upgraded PC. So say my model is kind of like skill locked till I get the PC, and that's kind of on the back burner till I put a lot more effort into my driving. So some things are kind of like time blocked, but I can still technically stream without a new PC. It will just be a camera stream, which is fine because I have a ton of things to do, you know. I could do a knitting stream, you know. Maybe I'll pull out my sock on camera, and you can watch me cry at the like hours and hours of work I put in for nothing. But yeah, it's currently 10:15 on the 31st of December 2024, and I just wanted to take the last little bit of the year to reflect on last year and how I'm going to be better this year, I hope. Because now I have my big girl job, I am able to have my set hours and have a little bit more free time. I know what to expect. I've been there 3 months now, so I'm getting a little bit into the swing of how tired I am and things like that, but generally I think just a wind down, a couple of hours stream with, you know, something to knit, or even like a sketch, right? I could be doing my drawing, could be doing a little sketch on stream, something like that. I feel like it's definitely doable, and then I can just work my way up, maybe do something big on the weekend, or, you know, we'll see how we go. But these are my minimums. A lot of this is minimums, you know. But yeah, I really think I can do it. I don't think anything else could go wrong to majorly set me back. So yeah, I think, like I said, this is above my computer, which is next to my bed, so I can see it all of the time. I may photocopy it and dot it about in the other rooms of the museum just to make sure that it is always there. It is on my phone, so I can always see it. I'm going to post it online. I don't know if I'm going to make a highlight where I can like cross off each one I've done. I don't know if that's going to be like irritating, or something I'm going to forget to do, as to whether, oh yeah, that's it as well. I've got like bingo, sort of. I've got like rewards, I guess, for when I've got one row. I'm just doing rows, I'm not doing columns, I'm not doing diagonals, it's just rows. So I've got 1 row, 3 rows and 5 rows that are going to get like a reward, I guess, an incentive, a bingo win, you know. So for 1 row I'm gonna go on VGen probably, and I'm gonna commission myself some artwork. I think I'm gonna stick around the £25–30 range. It will just depend on what I've got at the time, but I think something cute, you know, a little reward, a little doodle that someone else has done. I think would be really nice for one row, and it has to obviously one complete row, which are looking at them. I don't think that's gonna be possible. Am I gonna have to do it where it can be like a row or a column or a diagonal? Ooh. I'm gonna do a column. Column or a row? It might have to be a column. Because I'm just looking at them. We'll see. So, for the first 5, in some kind of arrangement. Well, maybe row and column. Maybe row and column. We'll have to see. Anyway, so for one row, it's some artwork, because I thought it was nice. Nice introductory level, nice little reward, nice little treat, you know? And then for 3 rows, I want to get fancy sushi, or like those like Japanese snack boxes you can get. I can't remember the name of the famous, the big company that's always on my Instagram. I can't remember the life of me the name. I'm so bad with names. But, or something like that, you know, some kind of like interesting kind of food, kind of snack kind of thing that I don't get at all, to be fair to you, tragically. Goodness me. I'm so sorry, I'm so tired. Yesterday I spent moving lots of boxes into storage and around the museum, and it's just been an absolute nightmare. But the sushi place near the museum recently closed, so now all the sushi I make is my own. And do you know what? It's just not the same. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. On my throne, I have a sushi kit, and I may just have to like buy that for myself, just to see if there's some kind of salt I'm missing or something. But I haven't actually made sushi for quite a while. Although it does look kind of ugly. I do think I want to get the triangle like rice press thing to make them all nice and neat and uniform, because mine just look awful. Just don't. Okay, we're not winning any prizes for appearances, let's say that for free. But yeah, so that's gonna be my 3 rows, you know, fancy sushi, something a little bit more bougie, since the place right near me has closed, which traitors, but or a Japanese kind of snack box, something new, something interesting, something I'm not gonna get again, as a reward kind of thing. And then if I fill the board, so that's all of them done, which obviously the biggest reward, I have a tattoo idea that I want to get. It's the one I saw was a rat, and it was surrounded by like buttons and threaded needles and thimbles, and it had a tape measure like swirled around it, and it looked really artsy, really gorgeous, and I really want something like that, but with a lop-eared rabbit instead of a rat, just because I had a rabbit. She unfortunately passed away last month, which sucked. I really loved her, but she was, I think, 10 when I had her, and I got her from a friend that had had her for a few years. So her true age, no idea, but she was like my best friend. She did eat through the Wi-Fi cable at one point, which was very irritating because it was right as I was trying to submit something that was time sensitive, and she chewed through it right as I was sending it, so it didn't send. And my god, the panic that I panicked. But luckily we're cable hoarders, so we had another one. So she was like, no, she didn't like electrocute herself, she was fine. She just like, you know, she was fine. She lived for like 10 more years after that. That was like when we first got her. She was an absolute bottom. But we love her. She's fine. But yeah, she was an old girl, bless her, and I miss her, and I think it would be a nice way to kind of commemorate her, because I did think a bat would be kind of cool, but I just feel a little bit more connected to her. She was like my first real pet. Like, I've had dogs in the past, but John, like, you're a child, so it's really your parents' dog, but they're saying it's your dog to try and instill responsibility in you, but you're like 3 and you don't know what a dog is. kind of thing, where she was like my first real kind of pet that I understood, that she was my responsibility and all the work that went into it and I looked after her and things like that. So I really would like a lop-eared rabbit surrounded by sewing supplies. I think that would be really, really cute, really cool, and I think if I get all of these ticked off, then I will book that in. So that would be really, really cool. So we shall have to see. I will see you this time next year, hopefully. And we shall have to reflect on these goals, see how far we've got, see if we got our artwork, our sushi, and our tattoo. And overall, I just want to have fun. I just want this year to be creative, and I just want to get out of the thinking about it stage, you know? That's my overarching goal with every one of these things, is just to get it done, get it out of the thought, get it out of the that's cool stage. I just want to get it done. But we shall see. I shall do my very, very bestest. And I will see you soon, I guess, right? One live stream a week now. Are we doing it where? Because it's Tuesday technically, so one art stream a week technically means you should see me again before this week is out, right? 4 live streams a month. We shall see. We shall see. But I hope you guys have had a good year. This year hasn't been the worst overall, I suppose. But for Odette and for what I wanted for the museum, it's not been the best. But we can do but learn. So yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me, listening to that absolute waffle. And I hope to see you soon, you know? Later in the week for probably a craft stream. Let's be real. Potentially ripping off the sock. Frogging the sock off the needles. Potentially. Oh, I'll have to make more thumbnails now. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye.